Hello and welcome back to Game 3 of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. recorded gameplay through the campaign with Nicholas Fury. Today, we are going to be jumping into MODOK. I'm very excited about this one because this is literally the first time I have set this entire scenario up on the table. And yeah, let's dive into it. So, we've got sorry, the camera looked weird there for a second. 2 hours later, en route to the AIM Island, the embassy intel says Inhumans were sent to an underwater AIM facility. Shouldn't we clear this with the board? An embassy is one thing, AIM Island itself is entirely another. If AIM has a mole on the board, as we suspect, we can't risk tipping them off. 2 miles off the coast of AIM Island, underwater AIM laboratory. Director, I am glad to see you. Hold tight, Garza. We'll get you out of there. No, my work must not be interrupted. You must die. MODOK is very dramatic. Alrighty. So we are playing MODOK. MODOK, we have to release these captive allies from the holding cell. It's an interesting scenario. I'm curious to see how it plays. But we have the holding cell deck. This has 4 inhuman allies on the reverse side, and after we release them, we get them as a ally. We can release them by spending some resources on the top of the. On top of this, it gives us a hero action to remove lock counters, or if we defeat MODOK, we get to remove lock counters. So there's a couple of ways. Again, first time I've ever played this, so we'll see how it goes. As a additional campaign setup, we place 3 additional lock counters on top of the holding cell, and then remove X from the card, where X is the number of captive allies in play. So we're going to add 1 more because we add 3, then we remove 2 because we had 2 captive allies in play. We're preparing the S.H.I.E.L.D. executive set, and we're adding as many tokens as there were at the end of last game, which is 0. We shuffled the 3 copies of the AIM interference obligation. I lost my spot there into the encounter deck. Then after resolving mulligans, we're going to do the setup ability on both of our medical records there. We are playing Nick. We are, yeah, that's nothing much has changed. So let's dive in and play. So upgrading adaptoids. Create the holding cell deck. Put 1 random adaptoid environment into play, or 2 in expert mode. So these are the adaptoid environments. Shuffle them up. We'll re-roll a 5 or a 6, but this is going to modify each adaptoid. So the first one we got is the psionic. Each adaptoid gains villainous and the psionic trait. Brutal. Alrighty. Yikes. Oh, wow. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And they are also going to get +1 attack and the brute trait. So each one of the adaptoids are going to be +1 attack and villainous. Yikes. Set the others aside. Each player searches the encounter deck for an adaptoid and reveals it. So we got a 1/1/5 minion, and then it's actually going to be a 1/2/5. Then it's going to have villainous as well. And whenever we defeat it, we can remove 1 all-purpose encounter from an environment. So we could remove holding cell. Forced interrupt. When stage 1 would be completed, we thread out at 7. Put 1 random set-aside adaptoid environment into play. Then if there are no remaining, we lose the game. So we get 1 thread out. We can thread out twice. Otherwise, remove all threat from here and shuffle each adaptoid minion from the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. This starts with 1. MODOK is a 3/1 retaliate 2 steady big boy. He has 14 health. He has a forced interrupt when he would be defeated. If holding cell is in play, remove 2 lock counters from it and reset his hit points to 14. Otherwise, players win the game. So we win the game by defeating MODOK after rescuing all of the holding cell captive minions. Squad. It looks like just a so far, without playing it, without understanding much about it, this feels like a Tony design. Like, it just feels like a really cool scenario. I'm very excited for this one, and it feels very Tony, so I'm pumped. We get 6 cards. We've got a covert surveillance, a EM shield, a melee, a Psylocke, covert surveillance, and a spray fire. We are going to be adding 2 threat to the main to grab Iceman, and then a aggression ally. But I think we'll keep Retaliate 2 is brutal, man. Retaliate 2 will knock out Psylocke in one go. I hate that. I hate that a lot. Uh, we can probably spray fire to clear the Adaptoid. I think. Ooh, I do like that. So if we use spray fire, we can choose a player, deal 3 damage to the villain and each minion engaged with that player. If we increase that by 2, then we can clear the Adaptoid and deal 5 damage to MODOK, which will feel pretty good. So I think we'll use a spray fire just to get rid of this guy. We'll want a covert surveillance so that we can grab 2 threats. So we can pay for spray fire. That's gonna be 4. That's gonna be 6 total. Um, sorry, I got distracted. 6 total resources. Iceman will be in our hand. I think we will. I don't think we're going to stay in stealth form. I think we're going to be doing a lot of this game in assault form. MODOK has 3 scheme, 1 attack. I think we're just going to spend a lot of time in assault. So we're going to toss these 4. We're going to draw into a Genius Beautiful, a 1x1, 2, 4, a Maria Hill, nice, and a Concentrated Fire. I think the Concentrated Fire is a little bit better for us than a Spray Fire. No, Spray Fire gains range, so we can get around the Retaliate too. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. We will do the medical records. We can add a secret counter to a board member environment. That's going to be over here on the chief tactical officer. Any way that we can get damage onto MODOK and avoid that Retaliate 2, let's do that. And this is a way to do that. We can search our collection for protection ally and shuffle it into our deck. We can add 1 threat to add that protection ally to our hand. Then we can add an aggression ally to our deck. And then we can add a threat to the main scheme to search their deck for an aggression ally and add it to their hand. Let's do some math and see if we need to do that. Okay, so I want to play Spray Fire. I want to play Covert Surveillance. Because that'll give me enough threat to... Yeah, okay, so if we play Covert Surveillance, that'll be enough threat to clear the Adaptoid and hit MODOK for enough. So if we place another threat, we can go find an aggression ally that is a 2-cost ally, and we can play that. So let's do that. Yeah, so we will go ahead and place 1 more threat, taking this up to... oh, Rescue Captive is no longer hanging out with us. Sunfire, potentially? Spider Girl? I think Sunfire. Yeah, I think Sunfire. Alrighty. Let's switch to stealth form. We're going to need to be in stealth form in order to grab that threat from the main using covert surveillance. So let's grab that. Okay. We will flip up to Nick Fury. We'll go ahead and use concentrated fire to play covert surveillance to remove 2 threats from the main and place it on our stealth suit. We may not have to play spray fire. What if instead we play 1x1? I think we play 1x1 instead. We can go increase the attack by 3 if we make a basic thwart here. We can increase the attack by 3, take out the Adaptoid, hit MODOK for 5. We take 2 damage back, but then we have a full hand where we can drop probably, honestly, the Sunfire here. think we play Sunfire. I like that a lot more. I like that a lot more. Sunfire doesn't really do anything because we're not having him attack MODOK. hmm. What if we just don't play the 1x1? Okay, hold on. What if we can get 2 allies out? If we make a basic attack with Nick, we can modify that attack using one of our threats on stealth to hit this for 3, play Sunfire, then hit the Adaptoid for 2. Iceman can come out and get those freeze counters, and we are good. I think that's a much better play right there. We'll be in Assault form, which is where we want to be. We don't take any retaliate. That feels good. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and make a basic attack. Our forced interrupt will flip us into assault, and then we will spend these two to nope, just spend one of those to trigger the interrupt to deal 3 damage to the Adaptoid. We will use 1x1 and Spray Fire to play Sunfire. Sunfire will attack for 2 to take out the Adaptoid. Whenever we destroy the Adaptoid, we get to remove 1 counter from the holding cell. Then we'll use a Genius and a Maria Hill to play Iceman, which comes in with 3 counters. And then after a minion enters play, we can remove a counter to stun that minion. I don't want to attack MODOK. The Retaliate 2 is brutal. So let's just use Iceman's Thwart to remove 1. We'll stand up. Okay. We've got a eye patch camera, Gambit, melee, 1x1, and a energy. I think we're going to see a eye patch camera drop. And potentially use energy to remove holding cell. So we got 1 here. MODOK is going to attack us for 1 plus a boost card. We'll block with Sunfire. It's going to be 1, 2. If this activation is an attack against piercing, that's going to take out Sunfire. Our encounter card here is going to be a Sinister Strike. So we're going to place a pursuit counter, and then he's going to attack. We're going to take this one to the chin. It's going to be 1 plus 3, so that's 4. Brutal. Ow. So we go down to 4 health. Yikes. Ooh. Alrighty then. That I'm not crying. You're crying. Okay. Yikes. Oof. The problem is that he is steady. If he schemes once, I mean, like we're looking at probably 5. We're probably looking at just losing the main one immediately if he schemes. So that's a little scary. We do have an eye patch camera, which can save us, but I'm talking about like when we flip down. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough. Let's use a 1x1 and a Gambit to play eye patch camera. So when any amount of threat would be placed on the main scheme, we can discard this to place 3 of that threat on our suit form upgrade instead. We'll use energy to remove 1 lock from the holding cell. And then we have got a melee in our hand. Let's just hang on to Gambit instead of melee. Wait. Yep. We will basic thwart here. Okay, so it's going to be 1, 4 plus a boost. So a boost of 3 loses us the game. But if we don't get a boost of 3, we don't lose. We're at 4 health. That's what's scary is we're at 4 health. I'm wondering if we flip down and we take that risk. If we were in stealth form, I'd feel a little bit better with the eye patch camera. I don't really want to chump with Iceman. We may just block. I think we may just defend and figure out our lives after that. So let's go ahead and stand up. We're going to hang on to Gambit. Mainly it's a lightning resource for holding cell. We got golden balls. Professor X is nice. Covert surveillance is nice. And a safe house 221. That's going to incentivize me to flip down because now we can heal 4 without actually recovering. Let's add 1. MODOK is going to attack. We will block for 2. It is a +2, so we'll take 1 damage. And we're shuffling this back into the encounter deck. Okay. Then our encounter card is a nanobot attached to MODOK. After he activates, heal 1 damage from him. After MODOK's hit points are reset, we get to discard this card. Whoa, okay. Well, that's exciting. Alrighty. Oh, MODOK is cool. I really like this scenario. Okay. We got Gambit, Gold Balls, Covert Surveillance. We'll play Professor X. We will confuse MODOK. We'll half confuse MODOK, I should say. And then X will go ahead and thwart here, taking 1 damage. We're going to hang on to Safe House 221. Ugh. We have a block here, and so I'm feeling okay about that. But, oof. All right, Safe House 221, Ironheart, Practice Plan, Spider Girl, and another Practice Plan. Got 1 threat here. MODOK is going to attack. We're going to block with X. It's going to take out Professor X. And then we would heal, but he's already at full. Our encounter card is going to be an Adaptoid. We will go ahead and trigger Iceman's response to stun the Adaptoid, who has +1 attack and Villainous. So that's got to go. Cool. Okay. Let's go Spider Girl and Practiced Plan. Or do I want to clear the holding cell? I think I want to clear holding cell. So let's use Spider Girl and Practice Plan to clear this lock counter. When the last lock counter, flip this card and put Flying Inhuman into play under any player's control. So we've got Flying Inhuman, 2 thwarts, 1 attack, does not count against our ally limit, 5 health. After this ally's thwarts, remove 1 threat from another scheme. After this card leaves play, flip it and place it on the bottom of the holding cell deck. Oh, that's cool. And then this comes in with 2 threat there. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We'll play Practice Plan. We'll use Ironheart to play a Safe House 221. We're going to go up to 7 on our trip down, which will feel pretty good. We'll go ahead and thwart here. Seven takes us to 11 if we basic heal. Trying to figure out what to do with my my activation here. I think with having the Adaptoid out, it makes it really hard to flip down, honestly. Actually, we can do this. Let's go ahead and attack using the 1 threat here, and then have Iceman attack to take out the Adaptoid. That's going to be 5 damage. Okay. We'll flip down to Nick. We'll use Safe House to heal up to 5 health. And we'll go ahead and switch into Stealth. Stand up. Okay. We've got a Spray Fire, Secret Agent, 1x1, Surprise Attack, and a Intelligence Analysis. Oh, we get 1 more card. And a Strength. Okay. Not super great. Got 1. MODOK is going to scheme for 3, 4. It's going to take us to 5. And then we've got an encounter card, which is a Diplomatic Sanctions. Discard 1 card from your hand for each aim minion in the victory display. Oh, shoot. Do these have victory on them? Nope. Okay. So 0. Then we surge into a Monica. Victory -1. Vulnerable. Discard this character while it is in the victory display. While Supreme Scientist is in the victory display. We'll go ahead and react. And stun to get rid of that. Cool. Sweet. Nice. We are in stealth mode. Safe House 221 will go ahead and give us 2 health. It's going to take us to 7. I think instead we... I'm trying to figure out how to... No, I think we need to basic thwart the main. I think we're going to stay in stealth because we have eye patch camera. Okay, let's flip up to Nick. Let's go ahead and basic thwart here to take this down to 3. We'll steal 1 to our suit. Let's spend a... Spend a strength to remove a lock counter from the holding cell. Spend another one and remove a lock counter from the holding cell. We're gonna strong inhuman. Toughness does not count against your ally limit. 7 health. Woo! After this card leaves play, flip it and put it on the back. 3 attack. That's pretty insane. So there we go. There's tough. Nice. And then we've got a wild resource to remove a counter, or we can spend 3 of any type to remove from there. That's cool. Alrighty, let's use intelligence analysis and 1 by 1 to play a secret agent. And we will use flying inhuman to thwart this down to 1. Strong inhuman is going to be a block for us, I believe. But let's go ahead and stand up. And we will draw 5 cards. 2, 4, 5. About decked out. Hopefully we get our watch. Mansion, surprise attack, watch, concentrated fire, and a helicarrier. We'll go 1 here. MODOK is going to scheme. We've got 3, 4. We will use eye patch camera. Actually, hold on. We will interrupt. We're going to only place 3 and we're going to place 1 here. So that's going to go to, would go to 5. Then we're going to use eye patch camera to place up to 3 of that threat on our suit form instead. Secret agents, after you resolve the ability of a preparation card, move 1 threat from a scheme to our suit form. So that's going to take us up to 6. Practice plan, after you discard a preparation, discard practice plan and return that other card to our hand. And then this is going to get us another threat there. Cool. That felt good. Encounter card is Nowhere is Safe. We're going to place a pursuit counter. Then we're going to discard a upgrade, which will be Safe House 221. Cool. Alrighty, that felt good. Don't have a wild resource. Let's go ahead and use a surprise attack to play a Fury's Watch. Fury's Watch will spend 2 resources off of stealth. We'll go helicarrier and concentrated fire to play Mansion. And Mansion will draw us into a Fury's Flying Car. I was really hoping to draw Maria so I could trigger that, but I think I need to attack so I get out of stealth form. So let's go ahead and basic attack. We'll go ahead and switch to assault. We're just going to attack for 2. We will take 2 back, but because he's just going to heal it right back, there's no point, I think, in increasing it because we're not making that lethal push. We got assault there. Fury's Flying Car and the Eye Patch Camera both seem like cards that I kind of want to keep. Okay. Strong Inhuman's going to take the block. So let's stand up. We got Warrior Skill, Boot Camp. Did I just miss Maria? I think I did. I think I prioritized playing Iceman over Maria now that I'm saying it out loud. Okay. So we've got 4, and our 5th card is a Genius. We've got 1 threat here. MODOK is going to attack. We will block with the Strong Inhuman for a total of 3. It's going to knock our Tough. Then he's going to heal 1. We got 2 encounter cards. The first one is Exhaustion. Surge, exhaust our identity into a Dark Designs. Excellent. You'll love to see it. So MODOK is going to scheme for 3. Attach this card to the activating enemy. The attached enemy gains Stalwart. Boo. We could lose that. When the attached enemy would take any amount of damage, place it here instead. Then if there's at least 5 damage here, discard this card. Okay, so he schemed for 3 total. So that's going to be a total of 4 there. And then we've got attached to MODOK. It's plus 5 hit points. After MODOK's hit points are reset, discard this card. Yo, MODOK is mean. MODOK is not happy. Got a lot of stuff going on here. Okay. And he's at full. He's at full health now. Okay. Cool. Oh, I forgot to shuffle in build support. I forgot build support still in the victory display. And superpower training. I don't think I actually ran superpower training with Nick. I think I should. Or maybe I may be at a lower card pool than I'm supposed to be. But here we are. Mansion is going to draw us into a Safe House 2-2-1. We've got a Fury's Watch. We'll spend, we're at 5. We'll go down to 3 to play Nick's Flying Car. We will go ahead and exhaust the Flying Car, spend one of our counters here to ready Nick, and then Nick will thwart for 2 off of the main, taking it down to 2, and we will gather intel there. Um, so there's a couple of options that I think there's a couple of options we have. We could play Boot Camp. We could play Eye Patch Camera. I think what we'll do is go Eye Patch Camera, and then 3 resources to remove 1 from the holding cell. The other option would be to like drop Safe House or Warrior Skill, but I think I would rather, yeah. So let's spend 3 resources to remove 1 from the holding cell. Then we'll spend a Genius to play Eye Patch Camera. And with Eye Patch Camera on the table, I don't feel as bad. And we're not going to scheme because we would pull in our Nemesis. So I think we are good. Let's go ahead and stand up. We will draw into a surprise attack. Practice plan, nice. Covert surveillance, energy, and a Sunfire. Ooh. Sunfire does not actually clear any of those, unfortunately. But here we are. We got 1. MODOK is going to attack for 2. We will block 2 plus 2. So we take 2 damage. Ow. And we shuffle this back into the encounter deck. I see a trip home, or a trip down to Alter Ego in our future, mainly so that we can heal up, because yeah. Alrighty. We've got a attached to MODOK. Oh my gosh. Okay. X is the printed cost of the card tucked under here. Tuck an upgrade you control under here. Otherwise, tuck the top card of your deck under here. And then he's going to get plus X, where X is the cost of that card. I think it's going to be Secret Agent. I think we're going to give him +2/+2 because I'd rather have the Fury's Watch as a generator. Okay, this is getting really scary. We need to, because he's at effectively 24 health. MODOK gets out of control. Holy cow. Alrighty. Cool. That's exciting. Alrighty. Yikes. Cool. Avengers Mansion is going to draw us into a helicarrier. I'm going to play Practice Plan. We will use energy. What are we doing? Let's use Fury's Watch to remove one. No, to remove two. And we will use Surprise Attack to remove the last counter from this holding cell, which will get us Sarah Garza. Sarah's attacks gain overkill and ranged. Ooh, ranged is huge for MODOK. Nice. Okay. After this card leaves play, flip it back, and she is a 2/2/5. And then we can spend 2 mental resources to remove a counter, which is perfect for the watch. I probably should have thought about that, but here we are. We'll go ahead and throw 2 damage onto the field. With ranged, we don't take the retaliate, so that's beautiful. Let's use energy to play Sunfire. We're not going to trigger the response of Sunfire. And we'll use a Helicarrier to play Covert Surveillance to remove 2 threat from here. We could flip into... Nah, it's not worth letting him scheme because he's going to be scheming at 5. Yeah, that's insane, actually. Do we knock Sunfire out? We don't. We use Sunfire to thwart here, and then Sunfire will block the attack because MODOK is now swinging and hitting us like a truck. We do have a flying card. There's no need to ready right now. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in a decent bit of trouble here. He got scary real quick. Stand up. We're going to draw into a melee. Spray Fire. I think Spray Fire is really where we are going to be able to apply a lot of pressure because of the ranged. Another Spray Fire, Practice Plan, and a 1/1. Got 1 threat here. MODOK is going to attack. We'll block with Sunfire. It's going to be a lot to a lot. Sunfire leaves play. Then he's healed, but he's at full. And we've got an encounter card, which is Psionic Enhancement. Comes in with 4, and then it's an Amplify token. So that's got to go. Okay. Nick is going to go ahead and thwart 2 off of this side scheme and steal 1 of those from here. We'll go ahead and Fury's Watch to remove 2, to remove 1 from the holding cell. We will have the Flying Inhuman thwart 2 here, which also removes 1 from the main. Which will clear that. 2, 4, 5. I didn't use Mansion. We'll draw with Mansion, which is a concentrated fire. Okay. 2 mental resources. We don't have mental resources, but I do think I want to play Spray Fire. What if we don't play Spray Fire? What if we use Strong Inhuman? Strong Inhuman would take 3 damage, which is too much. But that would get rid of this. Then Sarah could do 2 damage. There's no point in having Sarah attack, though, right now, I don't think. So what if instead we get this last holding cell ally? I don't know what they do. That would leave us with... We can Concentrated Fire. Let's Concentrated Fire. And then, yeah, so we'll spend 3 resources to remove the last lock counter from holding cell. We got the Psionic Inhuman. After this ally thwarts, remove 1 lock counter from... Okay, perfect. The greatest one to get at the end. Okay. We will then use Spray Fire and Practice Plan to play Concentrated Fire to deal 4 damage with Ranged to get rid of that card. So he is healing, plus 5 hit points, and a lot. So bad things are happening, but we'll stand up. I think we use Iceman to block here. So we'll go into a Covert Surveillance, a 1x1, Covert Surveillance, a Concentrated Fire, and a Ironheart. So we do have a block with Ironheart next round, which is nice. MODOK's going to attack. We'll block with Iceman. Place... Oh, geez. No, this is bad. Okay, so we're getting our Nemesis minion. Where'd I put her? Put him. Okay, so Iceman is Dunzo. This is about to be bad. Okay. Orion comes in with Toughness. We got the Acquire Infinity formula. After Nick takes any amount of damage, give him a tough status card. And then these get shuffled in. That comes in with 5 and an Amplify. But he is activating right now. So he's activating. He's going to hit us for 3. And if we take any damage, he gets a tough status card. Which is not good. I think we block with the Flying Inhuman. He'll go back down there, but then the Psionic Inhuman can just get him back pretty quickly. Because once we have Psionic Inhuman, it's not actually that bad blocking with him. Okay. We'll block with the Flying Inhuman. This card leaves play. Place it on the bottom of the holding cell deck. That goes there. Comes in with 2 lock counters. Cool. Then our encounter card is a Discovered. Oh, shoot. It's going to surge into a Scientist Supreme, Villainous and Vulnerable. And it gains Piercing and Range. It's a 2/1/6. This is a scary scenario. Mansion draws us a card to a Strength. Alrighty. We'll use Strength to play Ironheart. That'll draw us a card into Gambit. We can use Psionic Inhuman to thwart here. Take this down to 4. And remove a lock counter. Nick will thwart this for 2. Takes that down to 2, and we steal 1 here. Actually, we're going to thwart this one. Steal 1. We will use a 1x1 to play Covert Surveillance to remove 2 threats and then switch to Stealth form. I was gonna try and do concentrated fire. Oof. This is tough. I was gonna try and concentrated fire to take out Orion. Um, I don't actually think that that's going to work. I could play Gambit. I don't know if I should have switched into stealth form. I also don't know if I can take the attacks. So I think we're going to stay in stealth form and hopefully steal a lot of that stuff. If we go Gambit, we can use our allies to take out like Scientist Supreme. Okay. So let's use Gambit to play Covert Surveillance to clear here. It's going to take that out. Alrighty. Strong Inhuman will deal 3 damage here. Sarah will deal 2, and Ironheart will take it out. One here. MODOK is going to scheme. We can prevent 3 of that. He's going to be scheming for 2, effectively 1 plus a boost. So we should be safe-ish. Orion's going to scheme for 2, effectively 1. So we should be okay there. We have a concentrated fire. I think we're going to hang on to the concentrated fire. Because the concentrated fire we can modify and take out Orion in 1 shot. Let's use Fury's Flying. No, I don't want to attack, so we're not going to use Fury's Flying Car. Okay, let's stand up. I like this scenario a lot. It's fascinating. We got a concentrated fire, a 1x1 Maria Hill. Professor X does not really do much for us, and then an intelligence analysis. So we've got 1 here. MODOK is going to scheme for 5 plus a boost card. We got 6 total scheme. We're going to steal 1 of that to our suit. 1 goes here. Or okay, steal 1 of that. So he's scheming for 4. We will eye patch camera to prevent 3 of that and put it on our suit. Place up 2. Yeah. So 3 of that goes onto our suit. Practice plan pulls it back to our hand. And then we got 1. Orion will add 2. Okay, I'm happy with that. Orion will scheme for 2. Because we now have more threats on stealth, so we can't prevent it. Our encounter card is a Leviathan Soldier. Comes with toughness. After any schemes, deal 1 damage to the engaged player's identity. Toughness. Gross. Alrighty. That's exciting. Okay. Nope, we're not going to be able to... We can't modify a 1x1 enough to take out Orion, unfortunately. Okay. We are here. Why do I always forget to unexhaust Avengers Mansion? Let's go ahead and use Avengers Mansion to grab a gold balls. Alrighty. We can stun with X. That's going to be the better play. Yep, okay. Fury's Watch will spend 2 from here. We will also spend a 1x1 for our 3rd resource to play Professor X. We will stun the Leviathan Soldier. Ironheart will go ahead and knock the Tough here. It's going to knock her out. Okay. We are going to... Alrighty, so I ran out of disk space, but thankfully I think the... Okay, I think everything was saved, but the only thing that got missed on camera is I attacked using the concentrated fire to take out Orion, modifying it by 2, and then using the if the attack defeats an enemy, I can place threat. I place 2 more threat on my scheme. We're confused here. Okay. The other thing that I'm realizing is that concentrated fire actually can get ranged, which is I think probably how we're going to be taking out MODOK. X will thwart this down to 1. Take 1 damage there. Psionic Inhuman will thwart the last, which will get us our Flying Inhuman back. Okay. Ugh, I really I cannot flip down to heal. I just like don't have the ability to do that. So I think what we're going to have to do is set it up so that we can take out MODOK with an ally and hopefully heal 6 going into next game by defeating MODOK with one of our allies. Okay, so we'll go ahead and attack to knock the tough here. Sarah will go ahead and deal 2 damage here with ranged. So that's nice. We have our eye patch camera. I do want to hang on to this eye patch camera. So let's just do that. Stand up. We've got eye patch camera, Psylocke, S.H.I.E.L.D, Spider Girl, and a surprise attack. So 2, 4, 5. Okay. We'll add 1. MODOK is going to attack for a ton. X is going to block for. Oh, geez. Ah. That would have been insane. There you go. And then stun gets removed here. Then he heals 1. Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Our encounter card is It's Alive! Each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Adaptoid minion and reveals it. Let's go find the one here. We got another Adaptoid that has +1 attack and Villainous, so we do have to take that out. Okay. Here we go. It is our turn. Let's go ahead and Mansion to draw us into a melee. Ooh, a melee is nice. We deal ourselves an encounter card. But a melee, we can clear out the Leviathan Soldier and the Adaptoid because of we can modify the damage output there. Okay. Alrighty. Let's use a Fury's Watch, spend 2, and then a surprise attack to play melee. We will spend 2 from our suit, taking us down to 1 to deal 5 and 5 to clear both of these. I don't know why the camera is so jittery. I'm catching it out of the corner of my eye, so I apologize about that. Okay. So that clears. Sarah will go ahead and do 2 damage. Take us down to 16 with ranged. Let's go Spider Girl and Psylocke to play S.H.I.E.L.D. What we're going to do is, because we have a fairly easy way to remove lock counters with the Psionic Inhuman, we're probably going to block with the Strong Inhuman. So let's go ahead and attack for 3. We will take 3 back. That's going to take us down. We're at 16, so that's going to take us down to 13. Okay. We'll stand up. We could use our EM shield to prevent the damage. I would much rather have the tech card that can pop it back so that we can play it twice. I think if I can manage to do that, we'll feel good. We got security camera, surprise attack, Ironheart, melee, and a boot camp. Got one here. MODOK's going to attack. We'll block with the strong inhuman. I wonder what is messing with the camera. Yeah. Block with the strong inhuman. Um, no, we'll block with Sarah. She's about to die anyway, so it's gonna be a lot. We'll add one here. And then Sarah goes back here. Okay, we got two encounter cards. Oh, we need to heal one. First one is an Adaptoid. And then we've got a Cold Storage. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Leviathan minion and put it into play engaged with you. Otherwise, take 2 damage. Do we have a melee? We do have a melee, so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just take the soldier. Is there another soldier in here? Yeah, there is. We'll take the soldier in our encounter deck. Alrighty. They come in with tough. Got so much stuff on the table. Nice. Alrighty. Our turn. Mansion will draw us into a 1/1. Psionic will go ahead and thwart one here, removing one from our holding cell. Flying Inhuman will knock the tough off of this Leviathan soldier. We will basic thwart here to grab that onto our assault suit. Then we will use boot camp 1/1. Boot camp and 1/1 will play Ironheart. That'll draw us a card to a Sunfire. Then we'll use these 3 to play melee. We'll interrupt, spending 2 to make it a 5/5 to clear both of these. Ironheart is just going to hang out because she dies if she does anything. We could use the strong inhuman to deal some damage. We would knock the strong inhuman out at that point. I want counters on chief medical officer. Let's stand up. We'll draw into a concentrated fire, a strength, practice plan, 1/1, and a 1/1. Alrighty. Got one. MODOK is going to attack. We'll block with Ironheart. It'll be this card gains 1 boost for each aim minion in the victory display, so a lot. It's going to knock out Ironheart. Then and then we heal 1 here. Then we got Diplomatic Immunity. Place 1 acceleration token here for each aim minion in the victory display. So we got 2 acceleration tokens there. 1 from this and then 1 from the 1. Got 3. Alrighty. Gross. Okay. We'll throw a practice plan onto the table. That's going to allow us to proc EM's shield right back to our hand. Mansion will draw us a card into a warrior skill. We will Psionic Inhuman We'll go ahead and thwart this down to 2. And we'll remove the lock counter here. So we will get Sarah back. Sarah will go ahead and attack here for 2. Take MODOK down to 13. She'll take 1. We are going to thwart here. That clears. There. We get to steal 1. Oh, that's not the right thing. Steal 1 onto our suit. Let's have the strong inhuman go ahead and deal 3 damage to MODOK. That's going to knock the strong inhuman out. Goes back with 2 locked counters. We will use a strength to remove a lock counter. We have an answer for damage coming in. We have to deal 10 damage. Okay, let's use 1 by 1 and warrior skill to play concentrated fire to deal interrupt here 5 damage with ranged. So we've got that. Okay, stand up. We are going to toss 1 by 1. We don't need that. We are going to Genius, Helicarrier, Covert Surveillance, and a Energy. Okay. We'll add 1 here. MODOK is going to attack. We are going to take it to the face. It's going to be a lot. We'll use EM Shield to prevent that damage and then trigger Practice Plan to pull EM Shield back to our hand. Then MODOK will heal for 1. And our last encounter card in the deck is Hostage Situation. MODOK cannot take damage. Attach 1 rescued ally face up here. Attached ally is under no player's control. When defeated, the defeating player takes control of the attached ally. Alright, so that comes in with 3. I guess we'll go the Psionic and Human here. It's going to be attached there. We get an acceleration token on the main. Okay. Just have to do 6. Attached ally is still in play. Oh, but we have to take out the hostage situation before we can actually damage MODOK. Okay. No worries. We got this. This is fine. Okay. Mansion will draw us a card. Into gold balls. Okay. Flying Inhuman. We'll go ahead and thwart 2 here. And then we get to remove 1 from here. Takes that down to 1. We'll use Covert Surveillance to play Covert Surveillance to clear here. It actually was that 2, but yeah, same thing. Then we take control of the Psionic Inhuman. There. Okay. Okay. Genius and Helicarrier will spend 3 resources to get our strong Inhuman back. We've got Energy and EM Shield to play gold balls. We will flip down to Nick. We will heal for 4 to take us up to 7. We've got Sarah attacking for 2 Strong attacking for up to 5, and then gold balls will finish MODOK off. And gold balls leaves play. Ooh, okay, so everybody, all of this survives. That's gone. That was insane. That was a really cool scenario. I think I really like MODOK. He's going to be fun. We did end with 7 health, which is not super great, but let's see what we need to do. Mark each adaptoid environment in play, so we got the strong and the psionic upgrade. And then record the number of secret counters on each board member, so we got 1 on the tactical. And then we get a new no secret, gain the top evidence card. So those are our new symbols. And then we've got money. Each player may add 1 secret counter to a board member environment to search their collection for a different protection upgrade, shuffle it into their deck. Each player may add 1 threat to the main scheme to search their deck for a protection upgrade and add it to their hand. That's probably worth it. I think we could go like energy barrier. I feel like energy barrier feels really good. Or a force field generator. Just something that protects health a little bit. I'll have an answer by the time we come back. But there you go. And then we have 7 hit points, and we're moving on to the Thunderbolts. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow along to see scenario 4. Peace.